Welcome to the Gene Policini Center on the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology, where tonight the top two teams in Atlantic hockey meet in the first of a two-game series to determine who remains on top of the conference standings. Number 11 for Sacred Heart is forward Ryan Steele. The grad student is no stranger to Tiger fans. He's back with the Pioneers for a fifth year, and he's currently tied for the team lead with 5 goals. While on the other side, number 3 for RIT is Spencer Berry, a fellow fifth year, logged his first goal in a Tiger sweater last weekend as RIT enjoyed a sweep over the AHA's 4-time defending champions. Good evening, I'm Kevin Roach, and welcome to RIT Hockey Pre-Game Live. Well, it's only November, but tonight we're getting a preview of two teams that have become early season favorites to skate the Jack Riley Trophy come March. RIT enters the night winners of 7 of its first 8 conference games, while Sacred Heart comes to town unbeaten in 7 of its first 8 in Atlantic hockey. How about last weekend, the Tigers visiting AIC in Springfield, Massachusetts. Let's show you what happened. First period winding down, AIC on the rush off the Tiger turnover, and Brett Rylance scores to put the Yellow Jackets up 2 after 1. Tigers would rally, though, thanks to Grady Hobbs here. The RIT power play, and it's Hobbs putting home the rebound in front for his second of the afternoon, and we were tied at 2 last Saturday. RIT down 1 to start the third, but on the power play, and John Franco Casero, the wrister, to tie it right there, his 5th of the season, tied for the team lead. It was 3-3. Midway through the third, Simon Isabel, the feed to Cody Laskowski, who scores. Tigers took game 1 by a final of 4-3 over AIC. Game 2 last Sunday in Springfield, tied at 1. Tigers on the rush. Kobe Walker denied in front, but the puck comes right out to Spencer Berry, who won times at home. Tigers took a 2-1 lead. Second period, AIC would tie things up on the power play. Watch the great puck movement here and the finish by Josh Barnes, his second of the day. It was 2-2 after 2. Third period, just a minute 50 in, and Spencer Berry, the shot, Tanner Andrew parked in front, tips it in. RIT gets the sweep as they beat AIC by a final of 3-2. So with the sweep of the Yellow Jackets, the Tigers improve to 8-2 overall, 7-1 in the conference. The best start for a Tiger team in the Division I era. Tommy Scarfoni solid all weekend. On Sunday, he had 31 saves to record his 4th 30-plus save effort of the season. Tanner Andrews' goal proved to be his second game winner of the year, and after 98 games in a Tiger sweater, congratulations, Spencer Berry, finally rewarded with his first collegiate goal. So tonight, the Tigers and Pioneers meet for the first time since the Atlantic Hockey quarterfinals that saw the Tigers eliminate Sacred Heart in 3 games last March. With more on this pivotal early season battle for first place, our John DiTullio standing by live now with RIT head coach Wayne Wilson. Johnny.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Wayne, when you look back at last year's quarterfinals, what's your takeaway from that 3-game set?
Oh, it was a tough 3 games. It was all, I think, 1-goal games, maybe with an empty netter here and that, and we've been that way now with them 3 of the last, I think, 4 years, maybe the one pandemic year we stayed in our own region a little bit, but we've played them an awful lot, so you know, they're seniors and they're grad students. We know an awful lot about them. Very good team, very well coached. CJ does a good job with them. So we've got our hands full, and it should be a real good hockey game, though, for our fans to see 2 good teams go at it. I think we both want to stay out of the penalty box, but I think it's going to be good hockey.
Are games like this fun? Early season showdown, first place on the line, albeit it's November, but could go a long way.
I think they are. I think it gets your players' attention. Yeah. You start... now that we've kind of gone through a little bit of the non-conference schedule, some teams have played more than we have, but I think once you start looking at league standings and you see 2 teams at the top, but it just heightens your awareness, it gets you excited, and I don't want to say it's playoff hockey because there's a lot of hockey between now and then, but it does make highlight the schedule a little bit, that you got a little extra jump in your in the week.
And just your takeaway from last week, you go to AIC and get a sweep, Wayne, which is never easy, and then you got to come back home and play Sacred Heart. But what's your takeaway from last weekend's sweep?
Yeah, I mean, as much as this is a big weekend for us, it is now because it's the one right in front of us. But last week, to knock off the defending champs in their building, 2 games, I think it gave us a bit of a boost here, and I think it motivated us. Now, we've got to stay even-keeled. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves here, but we've got to use that game, particularly when we were down early in the first game and came back. I use those time experiences in games like this, that there's going to be ebbs and flows in this one where it's not going to go perfect for us, and we we've got to weather some storms and be ready to play.
Are there any flaws with your team right now, even though we're in November? We talked earlier this week. You really couldn't find one.
Yeah, I think we can just get better in all areas, just cleaner. You know, we still want to play fast. We want to make get out of our zone clean and quickly, and then really just manage the puck in the other team's zone. Don't make any hope passes and get things picked off and start their transition. We want to be strong, get pucks behind their D, and really get on our forecheck. And again, have everyone contributing. And I think that's a big thing for us right now too.
It was your birthday this week. Anything special?
Nothing special. My wife took me out. We had a drink and appetizers and low key, but that's the way I like it at this age now.
Oh, at 45?
Yeah, 45.
By the way, no goatee this year.
No, we're going mustaches this year, so I will see what color this one comes in. Haven't had a mustache in a long time, so.
I think you know what I think you're trying to look like? Is Rooster from Top Gun.
Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm not sure if that's good or not, but I don't think this is coming in dark anyways.
Good luck tonight, Wayne. All right, Kevin, that does it here with head coach Wayne Wilson. Back to you.
I know Coach would love a sweep here this weekend as a birthday present. Happy birthday, Coach. Well, Sacred Heart was in Erie, Pennsylvania last weekend as they picked up 5 of a possible 6 points against Mercyhurst, but it was Friday night's game that gained a lot of attention around the hockey world. It was at Mercyhurst. The Pioneers trailed by 2 goals in the second period, but quickly turned the game upside down, scoring 3 times in 21 seconds to take the lead in a game they eventually won 6-3. Sacred Heart head coach CJ Maritolo knows his group can strike quickly and often, but even he was surprised by what he witnessed against the Lakers.
Yeah, you never want to be behind in games, but you can draw on that experience once you've been through and had some success. So I think being down and coming back will lend experience to our group that if we're in this situation again, we're never out of it. So you don't like it when you're in it, but if you get through it on the right side, it's a positive.
Have you seen anything like that in all your years? You've been around a little bit. Again, I went back and watched it on Flow just to see what happened.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen 3 goals in 21 seconds. I've seen 2 pretty quickly, but never 3.
Yeah, those 3 goals in 21 seconds, a rarity, but it has happened in the NHL before. The fastest 3 goals in NHL history, ironically 21 seconds apart as well, by Hall of Famer Bill Mosenko of the Blackhawks against the Rangers back in 1952, a long way back. So here is how things shape up in Atlantic hockey heading into the weekend. RIT and Sacred Heart both with an opportunity to create some distance from the rest of the pack. Niagara trails both by 6 points. AIC and Holy Cross 11 points out of first, while Air Force, Mercyhurst, Canisius, Bentley, and Army all a lot of work to do to get back in this race. But as we have mentioned, it is early. RIT enters the weekend ranked 12th nationally and first in Atlantic hockey in scoring margin as they've outscored their opponents by almost a goal and a half per game. RIT's goaltending has contributed to that, especially thanks to that guy, number 30, Tommy Scarfoni. Scarfoni will make his 6th straight start here tonight as the Tigers look to win their 6th straight game. The Montreal native has been locked in. His save percentage over 91 so far this season. Sacred Heart head coach CJ Maritolo will go with number 33, Luke Lush, the senior from Alberta, will make his 8th straight start. Lush 5-1-1 on the season with a 2.44 goals against. We will see what happens here tonight. Well, still to come on Pregame Live, the RIT women's hockey team faced off with Union this afternoon. Highlights are coming your way in just a bit. Plus, he was on RIT's radar long before he ended up here. We'll share what finally helped land Jojo Casero in Rochester. But first, number 7 for RIT, forward Tanner Andrew, the Manitoba native, scored what proved to be the game winner last Sunday as the Tigers completed a sweep of AIC. Andrew will wrap up warm-ups on the ice in just a bit, and then he'll join our Kim Coffey live ringside as our coverage rolls on from the Gene Policini Center here at RIT. Sacred Heart is in town to face the Tigers at 7:05. We're glad you're with us. This is Pregame Live. Back here on Pregame Live. Thanksgiving less than 2 weeks away here in the States, and it's time for some home cooking for the Tigers as they open a 6-game homestand here tonight against Sacred Heart. Elsewhere in Atlantic hockey tonight, AIC just down the road in Buffalo at the Harbor Center. Yellow Jackets will look to pick up some points to keep pace with the Tigers and Pioneers, while Bentley still looking for its first conference win of the season. They are out in Colorado Springs to take on the Air Force Academy. As we mentioned, RIT off to its best start in the Division I era, and part of their success can be attributed to the number of contributions they're getting up and down the lineup. In fact, through 10 games, 17 players have scored at least 1 point, and that includes Tanner Andrew, who's standing by live now, ringside with our Kim Coffey. Kim?
Tanner, you guys have really built up some momentum in your last 5 games. You coming off of a sweep on the road over AIC. You net the game winner in Sunday's game. What do you think has this offense rolling early on?
I think it's our chemistry. We have 3-4 great lines that know how to work well together, and we spend a lot of time in the offensive zone, which I think really helps us gel.
You guys have found a way to win in multiple different ways, whether you're tied in the third period, down in the third period, winning, holding on to that lead in the third period. How does winning like that help shape this team?
Yeah, well, I think we've got a great group of leaders. Our leadership group does a great job in between periods. If there's things we need to figure out, they do an awesome job of keeping the younger guys in check and helping us out.
What's going to be the key tonight to getting out early and establishing the pace up front?
I think we have to have a good start immediately. These guys are going to be hungry. We beat them last year in the playoffs, so they're not going to be happy about that. Going to want some revenge, so fast start's going to be huge for us tonight.
All right, Tanner, thanks so much and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Kevin?
All right, Kim, thank you so much. We know his parents will be watching back in Manitoba here tonight. Well, defenseman John Franco Casero began his college career at UMass Amherst and was part of the Minutemen's national championship team in 2021. But following his sophomore season, JoJo was looking for a change of scenery. And as our John DiTullio discovered, thanks to former Tiger Jared DeMichael and some quick work by the Tiger coaching staff, it didn't take long for Casero to land here in Rochester.
JoJo Casero going in. Casero to the backhand and scores! 52 seconds into this game. Casero 1-0 RIT.
Jojo, let's look at the year you're having. Last year, look at the numbers. I see 8 points, 3 goals, 5 assists. This year, you already have 11 points through 10 games. What's been the big difference for you this season?
I think just confidence. I came in here last year after not playing 2 big minutes at UMass Amherst, and I just felt as the year went on last year, coaches were giving me a bigger role and allowed me to have more confidence going into the summer. And coming back, I know losing Dan Willett, and I had to step up and have a bigger role, and it was just all the confidence I gained from last year coming back into this season.
Talk about your reason for leaving UMass, going into the transfer portal.
I just think it was just all opportunity based. Like obviously high-end skilled defensemen there. A few guys obviously were drafted, so it was definitely harder to get in the lineup when you're behind some of those defensemen. And honestly, they deserve it. They're hell of a players, and then some of them are playing in the NHL to this day. So just not a whole lot of opportunity there.
When you heard or found out that he's interested, he's going to go into the transfer portal. Walk me through that. How quick was that exchange?
I think Dave was the first one to call him, and I called Jared DeMichael, their coach, and we weren't sure what the process was going to be like, to be honest with you. And we were just fortunate to be able to get him. And it was a time that we were hopeful to get scholarships, but we didn't have them yet either. So he took a leap of faith for us as well. But I think for him, he wants to be a pro, and he knows that you have to play to get there. And his playing minutes weren't very big there at UMass, so this was an opportunity for him.
Being a two-way player, discuss that, how important that is. Not only to be a great defenseman, but being able to score as well. You don't see it, that is very unique to be a great two-way player.
Yeah, I just think the new era of defensemen in the NHL is two-way D-men. So, I mean, you got to be able to generate some offense, but also play strong defense, and that's something I take pride in.
A big hit, a great pass, or one of your nasty shots. Which one do you prefer to do?
Nasty hit.
And why?
I think growing up, I wasn't always the most skilled player, and I used that edge to kind of get me to where I am today, that competitiveness, and that's something I take pride in.
What's the next step for him, for his game? Where would you like to see him take his game to the next? Does he need another level for you?
As teams now start focusing in on him, start taking him away, how is he going to be able to use other people to get the, I guess the team goal of scoring goals, but also winning hockey games. So it's adjusting now. Once you become a target, it becomes that much more difficult. And for some players, it's hard to handle some of that frustration of things might have been a little bit easier at the beginning of the year than they will be at the end of the year. And as a team, we're going to have to go through that together as well.
Yeah, the Tigers, Jojo Casero really becoming a great two-way player for the Tigers and looking for continued success this season. Well, the RIT women's hockey team is once again on the road this weekend. The Tigers visiting Union out of the ECAC. Tigers looking to snap a 7-game losing streak this afternoon down in the Albany-Schenectady area. Late first period, RIT on the power play. A scramble in front of the net, and Penn State transfer Amy Dobson finally puts home the loose puck. Her third of the season right there gave the Tigers a 1-0 lead after one. Late second period, Union on the power play, and it's Paige Greco getting the equalizer to make it 1-1. Just a minute and a half later, Union on the power play again, and Celeste Beaudoin gives Union the 2-1 lead. Kyler Bear tied this game with 57 seconds left, but Union scores with 58 seconds left in overtime. Tigers lose 3-2. The RIT women's soccer team will host first round NCAA tournament action here on campus tomorrow afternoon at Doug May Field. Westminster, Pennsylvania faces Amherst at 1 o'clock, followed by the Tigers and Johnson and Wales at 3:30. The winners advance to Sunday's second round. Our coverage of the Division III Women's Soccer NCAA Tournament can be found on the RITathletics.com or the RIT Athletics app. Download the app for your Apple or Android device. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon's Fire TV. Well, still to come on Pregame Live, Associate Head Coach Dave Insulaco will join us to break down tonight's matchup here with the Pioneers. Plus, we'll flash back to last season's series clincher between these two programs. It's all straight ahead on your home for Tiger Hockey. This is Pregame Live.
Tigers in transition. Slaskowski fighting his way ahead. Raby trying to get around in. Hands to Bacana. Raby going in. Raby shot. Saving by Scarfoni. What more can we say about Tommy Scarfoni? 5:52 remaining in the second. Sacred Heart now applying pressure in front. All alone. Saved made by Scarfoni. And it's clear. Woo. Putting it stick to the ice was Nicholson. Here's Kobe Walker. Does not have the numbers, but makes a good move.
There he goes.
Walker going in. The shot, the rebound. He scores. He scores. We are tied at 1. Kobe Walker. And then coming away with it, here's Wilkie. Wilkie on the break. Carter Wilkie for the go-ahead goal. No. Penalty called.
Yes.
But no, it's not going to be a penalty shot. As Barry sends it. Possession still being maintained by the Tigers. In front. Shot. Yes. Carter Wilkie. 2-1 RIT. Calverley far side. Take it. Hammaker shot. Walker good. Willett shot. Scores. Scores. Dan Willett. 3-1 RIT. RIT Tigers rally in this game. The Tigers moving on to the Atlantic Hockey semifinal with a 3-1 win.
Oh, a great series last March between these two teams. RIT and Sacred Heart have met 3 times in the postseason since the 2017-18 season. RIT winning 2 of those 3 series, including last year. The Tigers also own the overall edge in the all-time series with a record of 31-16-2. Sacred Heart still looking for a conference championship. Could this be the year? They were last in the title game in 2010 when they lost at the Blue Cross Arena downtown Rochester to the RIT Tigers. Let's welcome you back inside the Gene Pollicini Center here at RIT, where you're watching RIT Hockey Pregame Live, presented by Taylor the Builders, as we continue our countdown to puck drop coming up at 7:05 between the Tigers and Pioneers. The top 2 teams in Atlantic Hockey meeting here tonight, and it's no coincidence they're the top 2 scoring teams in the league as well. As we bring in John and Gene and guys, including this weekend, RIT only has 4 games in conference before the new year. It starts tonight, a tremendous opportunity for the Tigers to create some space and some cushion atop the standings.
Oh, yeah, Kevin, and this is a matchup, a team we're familiar with. Good evening to you, John, as we welcome in Associate Head Coach Dave Insulaco. And Dave, I'm looking at these line charts. These guys, we know them pretty well personnel-wise. Remind us, once again, what does Sacred Heart like to do offensively here?
Well, you're right. They're a veteran group. I think they have 10 guys in their lineup tonight that are either seniors or grad students. They're extremely skilled up front and fast. They have a very good D-core that's mobile and can facilitate offensively off the back end. So we're going to have our hands full. Both power plays are really good as well.
But Dave, your team is rolling right now. You got balanced scoring, great goaltending, special teams. You are playing your best hockey. There's no question about it. Are games like this fun to coach? Because it is, first place on the line. It's fun for us to call them. What's it like to coach in a game like this?
Most definitely. These games are fun to compete in. They're fun to coach and prepare for. So we're excited for the opportunity tonight. We will have our hands full for sure, and we're just looking forward for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, your team gets back Dmitry Giannakis, first game suited up. Where's Dmitry at right now? What should we expect out of him tonight, Dave?
We'll see how it goes with Dmitry. He got injured during the preseason, so he hasn't played a game thus far this season. So he was cleared earlier this week. He had a great week of practice, and I'm excited to watch him play here tonight.
And if your team is not really about one unit or one guy, it seems to be a collaborative effort when you look at the balanced scoring. If you had to pinpoint one key, though, for your team, what's it been so far for the first month and a half?
I just think it's been our work ethic, our competitiveness, and we're just a faster group this year, and I think that's really, aided in our success early on.
Yeah, last one, Lush getting the starting goal tonight. What do we know about this goaltender?
Very good goalie. He's big. He'll take up a lot of room. He plays the puck really well. We just got to get traffic in front of him tonight, and we got to possess the puck for long stretches in the O-zone and force them to defend and generate a lot of scoring chances.
Dave, looking good. Appreciate your time here tonight. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Dave Insulaco, the associate head coach at RIT.
It's going to be so much fun. I mean, early season showdown, and let's face it, let's fast forward to March. We won't be shocked that these two teams may be playing here for the Atlantic Hockey Championship.
Well, John, that being said, if we know that actually there's going to be, tight games, a little chippy tonight? You think both teams we're going to have some physical play?
Talking with both coaches, Wayne and Saul Brian Hills, both teams like to get after it. They're very, very similar styles. They love to play fast. It's intense. You know what that means? Keep your poise, because it's going to get chippy tonight.
Yeah, as we take a look here at the players to watch. First for the visiting Pioneers, and my gosh, these players, Ryan Steele, 5th year, grad student.
5th? I would have said 10th
Yeah,
year.
it's what it feels like. Coming off a big weekend.
4-point weekend versus Mercyhurst. He is just one of several veteran players that the Pioneers will roll out. They can roll out 3 to 4 lines. They are a balanced, deep team, that's for sure.
We're going to be paying attention to that line. The left wing, Steele, and on the opposite side, Blake Humphrey out of Penfield. So they do have a Section 5 product on that line tonight, centered by Austin Majera. For the RIT Tigers, though, one thing that's been fun, it's the defense creating offense, and Aiden Hansen-Bukata is one of those great defenders.
And he is tied for first among the nation's defensemen with 12 points. He had 3 assists in Saturday's win. This is really, if you ask me the strength of this team, I think it falls defensively. I just think even Wayne talked about, we're seasoned back there. We've got a really good goaltender, but the guys in front of him are stepping up, and it starts with number 23.
Kevin, there's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. Really looking forward to the puck drop here coming up at 7:05.
Yeah, guys, we're looking forward to it. A potential playoff preview. As you guys know, we'll look for your call at the top of the hour. The player introductions are just about to get underway with Rocky down below, as we're now less than 10 minutes away from face-off. We'll wrap things up from here next. This is RIT Hockey Pregame Live. Welcome back here. Gene Policini Center. Atlantic Hockey's best will be showcased here tonight as the Tigers look to win their 6th straight, and Sacred Heart looks to remain unbeaten in its last 6. The weekend marks the only time the Tigers and Pioneers meet this regular season. They'll wrap up this 2-game series tomorrow afternoon right here at the Policini Center. Our coverage begins at 4:30 tomorrow with Pregame Live, followed by Face-Off at 5:05 on Flow Hockey. Hey, the Tigers are on home ice the next 3 weekends as well, so make your plans to come out and join us. Tickets start as low as $6 and are available by calling or visiting the Policini Center box office, or grab your seats right now at RITtickets.com. Well, this should be fun. Tigers and Pioneers on the ice, ready to go. John and Gene standing by, and they'll have the call for you, and we'll see you back here for the intermission report. Enjoy it. RIT Sacred Heart begins now.